So we talked about this before. I tweeted it out. It's important, so let's address it real quick. Sony's new PlayStation Plus subscriptions are off to a rocky start. More than anything, they're kind of flopping a little bit. So the number of people subscribing to Sony's PlayStation Plus fell from 47.3 million to 45.4 million this quarter. The company announced in its earnings call last week. It's subscription service's third quarterly decline in a row, and comes despite Sony launching a revamped subscription lineup between May and June this year, including new tiers that offer inclusive access to hundreds of games to download and stream. So bear in mind, this is the latest, this is the first full quarter that they've been tracking these numbers since they revamped all of those tiers with the 3 tiers where it's like $10 or $25 or whatever it is. And since they redid that, their numbers have dropped by 2 million subscribers. Now, to be fair, Game Pass is still rocking and rolling, but Game Pass growth has also stagnated a little bit. But Game Pass growth stagnated. It didn't shrink. It didn't go negative. They aren't losing subs. So what this tells a lot of people is that, for one, gamers just frankly don't see the value in the service. And I mean, if we pull it up, I can, where's the button? I can pull this up. Let's just pull up. This is how it works now. So they have premium, extra, and essential. Essential, 1 month is $9.99. You get monthly games, monthly free games. They're usually games you've already played, so I don't think that this is a huge benefit. Occasionally it's useful, and occasionally you get a fun one that you wanted to play, but 95% of the time it's a game that nobody wanted anyways. And then you get online multiplayer. So if you're playing online, you have to do this. Most people have this because they have to. And then exclusive discounts. Okay, so they discount stuff in the store, but you're paying for a discount. That just feels weird. It also includes cloud storage, which allows you to do cloud saves across consoles. The PlayStation Plus collection. So again, the biggest games that have released in the last 10, 15 years, you get access to. The reason they offer these is because there's a 95% likelihood that you've already played them. I'm being honest. That's how it works. It's like The Last of Us, the original, not The Last of Us Part 2. That's not included, and it's games that if you wanted to go get used at GameStop or somewhere, or Game if you're in the UK, it would be $5. Bloodborne is $5 at GameStop right now. There's so many copies of it out there. Even in at Best Buy or Amazon, you can get it regularly for $10. So it's not that big of a value. Exclusive content, that basically just means that they'll pay Activision to give them special treatment, the ability to turn off crossplay, stuff like that. SharePlay, which I've never met anybody that uses. And then Game Help, which again is a nice marketing trick, but I've never seen anybody use Game Help unironically. So there's that. Extra is, I don't know why it's listed at 0. Oh, it's a free trial. It's listed as $0. It's what? No wonder they're losing money. No, it's a free trial, then it's 15. So this was 10. This is 15. And this includes all of the stuff that we just described, in addition to the game catalog and Ubisoft Plus classics, which are some of the big Ubisoft games, but it doesn't include the latest Ubisoft games on release date. And then game catalog, again, more games, but again, it's mostly a selection of games people already own. And then premium, which is $18 a month. Enjoy all of the core PlayStation Plus benefits, plus hundreds of games in the game catalog, as well as exclusive benefits like game trials, cloud streaming, and the classics catalog. I still to this day don't know if there's been any major release that's used the game trial. Do you guys know of anything? If they did a thing where God of War Ragnarok, yeah, you could try it for an hour or 2 hours for free and then decide if you want to buy it. That would be cool. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that would be kind of cool. Again, it feels stupid that you have to pay almost $20 a month for it. Horizon Forbidden West had a free trial. Okay. That's good, because that game definitely within the first hour or two is probably going to sink or swim for you. So that's good. Cyberpunk did. Cyberpunk needed it for real. But again, like that doesn't seem like something you should pay for. It seems like something that individual games should be able to opt in for if they want to win over the customers. But what do I know? Cloud streaming. This I've used, I think, twice. With when it was when I did the I tried Death Stranding video. I didn't have it installed, and there's like a bug where I bought the game digitally, but I originally played the game on physical, like a physical disc on my PS4 Pro. So now that I've gone over to PlayStation 5, this PS5 is a discless PS5. So I can't actually play my original copy of the game because it requires a disc. But when I try to play the digital version of the game, at least at the time, it would glitch out and wouldn't let me do anything with it. I was just stuck. So the only way I could play it was cloud streaming because it was bugged out, which is a huge oversight. Hopefully they fixed it by now, but it was a big problem. So I've used it a couple times. It runs pretty well. You know, I don't think it's better than like, I think GeForce Now is probably the best in terms of quality. I think xCloud is the best in terms of practical use. And so like PlayStation, it can be useful. But the big issue I think with all of these is that there's very little perk present here, very few perks present here for the diehard PlayStation fan, beyond just getting access to online games. The diehard PlayStation fan already owns almost all of the major games that are going to be on here. And so they aren't like, it's not really a selling point for them to be like, oh yeah, no, you'll get a game trial. They're like, well, I was going to buy it anyways. Cloud streaming. Okay, so I can play the games that I could just download in worse quality. Okay. You know, there's not a whole lot that pulls you in, especially because most of these features are the ones most people care about. So it doesn't shock me. Like it really is a markedly worse value proposition than I think Xbox is able to provide. And that's the thing, you know, everybody can be like, I said when I tweeted it out, somebody was like, well, it's not meant to be Game Pass. It's meant to be their own thing. And I'm like, I think that's part of the problem because people compare it to Game Pass. And when your average consumer is looking at it, they're considering whether or not one offers more value than the other. And honestly, if I were in high school and I was looking at things to do, hell yeah, I would go and buy an Xbox Series X and Game Pass. It's just a better value. It just is. Yeah, I'll miss out on PlayStation exclusives for now, but oh no, I missed out on one game a year. I'll spend that year saving up for a PS5. So it's just complicated, and I don't think there's a lot of value. So I'm not surprised that it's losing subs and that people are not sold on it because it's overly complicated. The value proposition doesn't seem to be clear cut, and Microsoft is just offering something better. So those are my thoughts. Not a shocker, but hopefully they revamp it. And I think the easiest way to revamp this is to bring their major releases to the service day one. Or even when they bring it over to PC like 6 months or a year later. Just do something like that. Like all you have to do. Imagine if they announced God of War Ragnarok launches on PlayStation Plus, whatever extra or whatever the premium tier is. On day one, you don't have to pay $70 for it. If you're a member of that subscription service, you get it day one for free. No extra charge, at least. Instantly, they would have record signups. Honestly, they might make more money. Okay, probably not, because most PlayStation players are going to be buying it at full price, so who cares? But, you know, that's kind of what they have to do in order to start winning people over, because that's what Microsoft's doing, bringing these games day one to Game Pass. And, you know, I'm actually kind of happy that it's performing worse than they expected, because one of my frustrations with PlayStation has been that they do stupid stuff and people just make excuses and allow them to get away with it. And so long as that happens, they won't improve. Once they start getting called out by their fans, they'll change it up. And also, like, once it starts affecting their bottom line, they will change. But until then, they have no reason to. And this could be the impetus to be like, okay, well, we got to figure out something better because our customers clearly don't like what we're offering here.